The problem we're about to work is all about a shortcut way to determine cost. It's called the high-low method. And some reasons for using the high-low method would be as follows. Variable costs, that is things that go up and down with volume, are easy to determine and trace. Fixed costs, which again are something that whenever you have a cost like rent or insurance that doesn't change when volume goes up and down, that's called a fixed cost. They're also easy to determine and easy to trace. Now sometimes you have a cost that has a variable portion and a fixed portion, and it's called a mixed cost, and they're more difficult to determine and they're also more difficult to trace. Well, the high-low method is a way to quickly and easily estimate, and again I emphasize the word estimate, the fixed and variable portions of a mixed cost. And once you know those pieces of that mixed cost that are fixed and variable, then you can go on and make predictions. So let's see what our problem looks like. So this is all about estimating cost behavior using the high-low method. So here we have a problem where we're using the high-low method to estimate both the fixed and the variable components of a maintenance cost. So here we have months, and we have hours of maintenance and dollars of maintenance, and these maintenance costs are all mixed. That is, they have a piece that's variable and a piece that is fixed, and we're trying to separate that out, and we're going to use the high-low method to do it. And there's basically 4 steps involved, so let's take a look at them. The first step is to find the high point and the low point of activity. So here's our activity in hours. It looks like the high point is going to be, looks like 48, and the low point is 12 hours. So we find the high point and the low point in activity, and we also look at the dollars involved at that high point and low point, and then we take the difference. So step 2 is find the difference in hours, in this case, because that's how activity is measured in this problem, and also the difference in cost. And when we do that, we're looking at 36 hours difference between the high point and the low point, and we're looking at $4,500. So now we've done step 1 and step 2, find the high point and the low point in activity. Step 2 is to look at the difference in activity, in this case expressed in hours, and the dollars involved. And now we're going to divide the hours into the cost, which looks like $4,500 divided by 36 hours. And at this point, that answer looks like it's going to be $125. And now we have just found, or we've just separated out, of this mixed cost, we just separated out the variable cost per unit, which is $125. Now, the next step is an arbitrary step, but it's just part of the process. We go to the highest point. So the highest point in this example looks like was for, in activity wise, was for July, 48 hours. And we take that highest point and we say that if we know the total cost here was $8,100, and we knew it was made up of fixed and variable portions, well, at the highest level of activity, which was 48 hours, and we now have a variable cost per unit, we can figure out total variable cost. And if we know the total cost already, which was $8,100, then the difference between the total fixed cost and the total variable cost would be the fixed cost. So let's do that. So $8,100 was our total, and that's going to equal fixed cost plus 48, again, hours of activity, times 125, which was our estimated variable cost. So we have $6,000 here as our total variable cost, and our total cost was $8,100, so our fixed cost must be the difference, which is $2,100. And this is really good because now we can do some predictions. So let's take a look at that. And all of this is going to be something that will help you do all of these kind of problems in the future. So let's take a look now. So we're going to go with this idea that at the highest point in this particular kind of a cost, the fixed costs are $2,100 and the variable cost per unit is $125. And so here we go. Powerful predictor of the future cost. if we think we'll have 70 hours of maintenance and in the month of January, which will be the next month coming up, how much will total cost be in January? Well, this is just an estimate, but it's usually pretty good. It's pretty close usually. So 70 hours total means we would have the following. We would have our $2,100 fixed dollars, because that's what our fixed costs are in this example, and $125 per variable hour times 70 hours, which looks like $87.50, and the two together would be the total cost we would expect to incur for maintenance if we think we're going to have 70 hours of maintenance in January. So it'd be $10,850.